Chosen one, this message didn't find you by accident. God led you here for a divine reason. There are no coincidences in the realm of the Spirit. If you've been noticing strange movements in your eyes, light flashes, quick glimmers, or unusual glow in your reflection, it's not your imagination, it's a spiritual sign. Your spirit is waking up, and what you're experiencing isn't just biological, it's prophetic. Heaven is sending you indicators that your soul is shifting into alignment with your divine identity, and your eyes, the windows of the soul, are revealing what's happening in the spirit realm. So let's go deep. Let's break this down into 7 spiritual confirmations that what you're seeing is proof your awakening has begun. Before we dive in, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because this isn't just a message. It's a spiritual awakening in motion. This word is a mirror for your soul and a confirmation from the Most High that your sight is shifting, your spirit is stirring, and your destiny is activating. If your soul resonates with this frequency, type 77 in the comments right now. That number is not random. It's a divine code, a heavenly signal that your third eye is opening, your perception is evolving, and your inner vision is aligning with your higher calling. Not everyone is meant to understand this, and not everyone will finish this message. But if you do, it means you're part of the few, the spiritually sensitive, the truly chosen. And as you stay, you'll begin to unlock the deeper mysteries of why your eyes have been showing you signs no one else sees. This message isn't just to be heard, it's meant to be felt. It's not just a video, it's a living revelation. And every time you revisit it, a new truth will activate. A fresh key will be released. So come back as many times as your spirit leads you, because with each listen, your awakening deepens and your sight gets sharper. Chapter 1. Your eyes are seeing beyond the physical chosen one. When your spirit begins to awaken, something subtle yet supernatural begins to happen. Your physical eyes no longer function the same. They're not just organs of sight anymore. They become instruments of perception. They begin to pick up what your spiritual eyes have already been aware of for a long time. You may start noticing brief light flickers, sudden glimmers, or unexplained flashes. Sometimes it's a shimmer in the corner of your eye. Other times it's a light that moves, but no source can be found. These are not technical malfunctions. These are not tricks of the mind. These are glimpses, windows into a deeper realm that has been surrounding you all along. Heaven is slowly lifting the veil between dimensions, and what you once called odd or unexplainable is now starting to make perfect spiritual sense. You are being introduced to a new frequency of awareness. Your eyes are learning to decode divine presence. You're beginning to perceive activity from the invisible realm, angelic motion, spiritual messages, shifts in energy, and divine encounters. You're not just observing the physical anymore, you're sensing what's happening behind the curtain of reality. God is training you. Little by little, your sight is becoming sanctified. You're no longer limited to the natural, you're being called into the supernatural. While others are distracted by what's on the surface, you are learning to detect the whispers beneath the noise, the patterns within the chaos, and the presence behind the physical form. This is the gift of spiritual sight. It's not fantasy, it's frequency. You're tuning into a wavelength that most people miss because they've silenced their spirit for too long. But your spirit has been reawakened, and now your eyes are catching up. You're beginning to recognize that you're never alone, that God's messengers are near, and that the atmosphere around you is more alive than most realize. You're not just seeing light, you're seeing life. You're not just witnessing flashes, you're witnessing divine movement, power, presence. You're seeing confirmation that the spirit realm is real, and you're being invited into it. You are being prepared for deeper vision, chosen one, so don't ignore what your eyes are revealing. Don't dismiss what you see just because others can't see it too. You're not losing clarity, you're gaining a higher kind of perception. This is not confusion, this is consecration, and your vision is the evidence. Chapter 2. Your reflection is changing because your frequency is rising. Chosen one, have you ever looked in the mirror and suddenly paused? Not because of how you look on the outside, but because of what you sense coming from within. Your eyes seem more focused, more intense. There's a glow in them that didn't used to be there, a presence, a quiet fire. It's not vanity, it's not imagination. It's evidence that something powerful is happening inside you, and it's beginning to show. Your spirit is rising, and it's starting to break through your physical form. What you're seeing in your reflection isn't just a face, it's a frequency. You're seeing a version of yourself that's aligning with divine purpose. You've been shifting spiritually, and now your energy is making that shift visible. That's why your eyes look clearer. That's why your face looks more radiant, even on your tired days. It's not just light bouncing off your skin, it's light coming from within. God is not just changing your circumstances, He's changing your presence. You're no longer walking in the same vibration you used to. You're operating on a higher spiritual frequency, and it's starting to show up in the way you carry yourself. You're glowing in a way you can't fake. You're calm in ways you used to crumble. You're confident without needing to prove anything. That shift is visible, and people around you can feel it, even if they don't understand it. Some people stare at you longer than they used to, not because of what you're wearing or how you styled your hair, but because they feel something when they look at you. Some are drawn to it, others are unsettled by it. You've become a mirror, and when they look at you, they're seeing the truth of who they are in contrast to who you're becoming. Your energy exposes what's hidden. Your presence makes spiritual tension rise. You're not doing anything extra. You're just reflecting what God is doing in you. This is the fruit of the secret work. The nights you prayed through pain. The moments you kept quiet when you could have defended yourself. The spiritual discipline, the inner healing, the surrender. All of that is now showing up in your reflection. You didn't get this glow from ease. You got it through endurance. You didn't become this calm by accident. You fought for your peace. And now your reflection tells the story your words never could. You're no longer just reflecting your environment. You're reflecting heaven. Your spirit is radiating through your eyes. Your face is carrying glory because you've been in God's presence. And even if no one else fully understands what's changed about you, you know this. You don't look the same because you're not the same. Your reflection has become a witness, a testimony, a quiet announcement to the world that your elevation has already begun, and it's only going to grow from here. Chapter 3. Light flashes, aura shifts, and divine glitches. Chosen one, have you ever been sitting in a room, maybe in stillness, in prayer, or deep thought, and suddenly seen a quick flash of light with no clear source? Maybe it was just for a second, a sudden flicker in your peripheral, a shimmer in the air, a strange glow that made you blink or look twice. Some of you have seen it while driving, others while worshipping, and many have seen it during deep meditation or quiet surrender. These aren't malfunctions of your eyes. These are divine interruptions, holy signals known as glitches in the veil. The spiritual world is brushing up against your physical reality, and your senses are catching it. These light flashes are not ordinary. They are confirmations, divine nudges, signs that you're in a thin place, a space where heaven is close and the veil between dimensions is nearly transparent. Many chosen ones also start to notice subtle color changes around people or places. Sometimes it's a soft glow. Other times it's a shimmering aura that moves or vibrates. You might not fully understand what you're seeing, but your spirit knows it's real. These aura shifts often reveal the spiritual atmosphere, peace, tension, light, or even hidden darkness. You're not hallucinating, you're discerning. Your sight is being upgraded to interpret the realm most people never notice. This level of spiritual perception usually intensifies when you've been seeking God intentionally, through prayer, through fasting, through obedience, through stillness. Every time you align more with the will of God, your senses sharpen, not just emotionally or mentally, but spiritually. And what was once invisible to you becomes clearer, more obvious, more direct. It's like God is giving you access to the codes behind creation, letting you see the programming behind the pattern, the intention behind the image. You're not just existing in this world, you're reading it, watching it, interacting with the divine frequencies that shape it. And these glitches, the light pulses, aura movements, subtle distortions in the air, are signals that you're tuning in. You're no longer only seeing what's in front of you. You're catching what's around you, behind you, and even within others. You're stepping into a dimension of spiritual intelligence that allows you to read beyond body language and listen past words. Some may call it strange. Others will call it delusion. But the spiritually awakened know this is what happens when God begins to reveal the kingdom operating alongside the natural realm. The flashes aren't accidents, they are activations. The aura shifts aren't imagination, they are insight. The divine glitches are not flaws, they are invitations, reminders that this physical world is not the end, and it never has been. You are in between two realms, heaven and earth, and your spirit is learning to navigate both. You're becoming sensitive to the signals of heaven while still standing on earthly ground. This is the realm of the prophetic, of discernment, of vision. And it comes with a price, but also with great power. So the next time you see a flash of light, don't rush to dismiss it. The next time the atmosphere feels different or you sense a presence when no one else is around, pause, ask, listen, because it might just be heaven showing up to remind you you're not crazy, you're connected. You are being trained to see in the spirit, and these divine glitches are your classroom. Chapter 4. You're seeing truth where others see nothing chosen. One of the clearest signs that your spirit is waking up is this. You start to see beneath the surface. Things that once looked harmless now feel heavy. Situations that others call normal now raise red flags in your spirit. You can't explain it in words, but your discernment picks it up instantly. Your inner radar is always scanning, always sensing, always receiving truth that others are blind to. You may look someone in the eyes and instantly feel what their mouth is hiding. You can hear a sweet tone, yet your spirit detects manipulation behind the smile. You can walk into a room and before anyone says a word, you feel whether peace or confusion is present. You're not just reacting emotionally, you're reading spiritually. And it's not paranoia, it's prophetic perception. It's a divine gift, and it's sharpening by the day. God is upgrading your vision because He's elevating your assignment. In a world that glorifies image and performance, He's raising up those who can see beyond the mask, and you are one of them. You're not just watching life happen, you're interpreting it, you're decoding energies, you're reading atmospheres, you're discerning motives. Your eyes are no longer just physical instruments, they've become tools of truth. And this truth doesn't just help you understand people, it helps protect you. You see the trap before it's set. You feel the shift before the betrayal comes. You detect when someone's spirit is out of alignment, even if their words are perfect. That inner no that rises when everyone else is saying yes, that's divine protection. That's your discernment screaming that something isn't right, and the more you listen to it, the more precise it becomes. You are being trained to walk in wisdom, not just knowledge, to perceive truth without needing physical proof. This gift will save your life. It will keep you from entering agreements that look good but are spiritually toxic. It will lead you into divine partnerships while the world tries to push you into distractions. It will allow you to move in silence while others are loud and lost. And sometimes this sight will feel lonely because you'll be the only one in a group who senses that something is off. Others will mock you for being too deep or too serious, but deep down they know you see something they can't. Your clarity will convict those who are comfortable in confusion. But don't shrink. Don't second-guess your knowing. Don't apologize for your vision. Your eyes are testifying to what heaven is showing you, even if earth doesn't agree. This gift isn't just about survival. It's about assignment. You were called to see through deception. You were chosen to walk in truth. God is trusting you with insight because He knows you won't ignore it or twist it for your benefit. You're not just gifted, you're trustworthy. That's why your discernment is getting stronger. That's why your perception is increasing. That's why lies make you feel physically sick, because your spirit can no longer tolerate what's false. And the more your frequency rises, the clearer things become. What once looked blurry is now obvious. What once confused you now makes perfect sense. People's energy reveals them before their words do. The atmosphere speaks before anyone opens their mouth. Your eyes are tuned in to a realm where truth cannot hide. Chapter 5. Your night vision is activated. Chosen one, something unusual has been happening to you during the night, and it's not random. You may have noticed flickers of light in a completely dark room, flashes when your eyes are closed, or subtle movements that seem to appear in the stillness. You may find your vision actually feels sharper in the dark, not with your physical eyes, but through your inner sight. These are not accidents. These are not dreams. These are activations. God is awakening your spiritual senses, and He's doing it in the night hours, when the world is quiet, when distractions are low, and when your body is resting, your spirit becomes most alert. That's when downloads come. That's when your soul receives what your mind couldn't handle in the noise of the day. Your night vision is being activated because God is preparing you to see what others miss in the dark. This is why your dreams are becoming more vivid, more symbolic, more frequent. You're not just dreaming randomly. You're being shown things, divine instructions, hidden warnings, spiritual insights. And even if the dream seems strange or fragmented, your spirit understands. Your eyes are beginning to see in realms that don't rely on sunlight. You're learning to navigate the unseen when the world is at rest. Have you found yourself waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or right before sunrise? That's not insomnia, that's invitation. Those are divine appointments. Heaven is calling you into a moment of clarity. Your spirit is being summoned to receive revelation. The veil is thinner in those hours. The atmosphere is more open. And God knows He has your attention. You're not being disturbed. You're being downloaded. During these moments, pay close attention. What do you feel in the air? What images or thoughts flash in your mind's eye before you fully wake? What subtle vision crosses your spirit just as you drift off? These are not mere flashes of imagination. They are prophetic signals. Your night vision isn't about seeing with your physical eyes. It's about perceiving with your spirit while everything else sleeps. In biblical times, many of the greatest revelations came at night, in dreams, in visions, in angelic visitations. And that same spiritual blueprint is being fulfilled in you. God is still speaking in the dark, and your awakening is happening under the cover of night. This is also why you've started sensing motion in the room, even when you're alone. Why shadows feel different now. Why you feel watched, not in fear, but in awareness. Because angels are being assigned. Movement is happening in the spiritual realm, and your eyes are learning to track divine activity even when the lights are off. You are being trained for spiritual warfare, for prophetic insight, and for nighttime intercession. Chosen one, your night vision is a gift and a weapon. In a world that sleeps through the most important spiritual hours, you're being called to watch, to discern, to stand in the gap, to listen when everyone else is dreaming, and to dream when others are simply sleeping. You are being entrusted with mysteries in the midnight hour. So don't ignore the signs. Keep a journal by your bed. Write down what you see, what you hear, what you feel. Pray when you wake unexpectedly. Meditate when visions stir. Because these moments are not interruptions, they are divine instructions. Chapter 6. Your eyes are a beacon. That's why the enemy is intimidated. Chosen one, by now you've noticed your eyes don't look the same, and it's not just you who's noticed. People stare longer, some look away quickly, others avoid your gaze altogether. It's not about appearance, it's about presence. There's something in your stare now, something divine, something piercing, something powerful. Your eyes have become beacons of light in a dark world. They don't just reflect your soul, they reveal your calling. They don't just see reality, they declare truth. That's why demons take notice. That's why the enemy is intimidated. Because your vision isn't casual anymore, it's consecrated. It's charged with the fire of discernment and the authority of heaven. You're not just seeing through people, you're seeing through dimensions. You're picking up what's in the spirit before it ever manifests in the physical, and this isn't just awareness, it's warfare. Because light doesn't enter darkness quietly, it exposes, it confronts. And your eyes are doing that now, without you saying a word. This is why some people suddenly act strange around you, why old friends feel distant, why people who used to be comfortable in your presence are now unsettled. It's not personal, it's spiritual. Your stare makes unclean spirits nervous. Your gaze disrupts hidden agendas. Your silence carries more weight than other people's sermons. You don't even have to speak. Your eyes testify, and they do so with fire. The enemy knows the power of your vision. That's why he works overtime to make you doubt it. He'll try to make you believe you're imagining things, that your insight is just paranoia, that the flickers of light, the spiritual signs, the sudden inner warnings are all in your head. But they're not. They're confirmation. You're not being deceived. You're being developed. With your eyes you've been marked. And that mark is not just in your spirit. It's shining through your face, through your eyes, through your awareness. You're no longer just existing, you're broadcasting. Every glance, every moment of spiritual clarity, every divine nudge you follow, it's echoing in the unseen realm. Angels recognize it, demons recognize it, and so does every unhealed, dishonest or spiritually bound person around you. The enemy hates that you see, because people who see cannot be easily fooled. They can't be trapped in cycles. They don't fall for the same lies. They don't entertain the same patterns. And more importantly, they expose the systems of deception around them. That's why spiritual warfare often increases when your discernment sharpens. That's why your dreams get heavier. That's why the attacks feel more targeted. Because the enemy understands. If you can see clearly, you can walk boldly. And if you walk boldly, you can lead others into truth. So protect your vision. Guard your gaze. Don't water down your discernment just to make others feel comfortable. Don't dismiss the way people react to you. It's not always about you personally. It's about what your presence reveals. You're a mirror. You reflect light. And not everyone is ready to see themselves clearly. Your eyes are no longer just natural tools, they are spiritual instruments. And every time you look with intention, you're doing more than observing, you're prophesying. Every glance is a declaration. Every moment of spiritual clarity is a strike against confusion. Every flicker of insight is a reminder that heaven trusts you to see what others deny. Chapter 7. This isn't a sign of madness, it's a sign of mission. Let's set the record straight right now. Chosen one, you are not crazy. You are not losing your mind. You are not imagining what you're seeing, feeling, or sensing. What you are experiencing is not the onset of confusion. It's the arrival of clarity. This is what it looks like when heaven begins to open your eyes, when the veil lifts, when your natural vision gives way to supernatural insight. You're not being deceived, you're being dispatched. Not to observe from the sidelines, but to walk boldly into your divine assignment with eyes wide open. The visions, the light flickers, the dreams, the sudden wake-ups, the way your eyes sense what no one else is noticing. None of it is accidental. This isn't a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. You didn't ask for this gift. It was embedded in you before you were even born. You didn't chase this level of awareness, but it chased you down, because your mission required it. You've been chosen not just to walk in the light, but to carry it. And your eyes, your spiritual eyes, are the instruments that make that possible. God is confirming your purpose through your perception. Your sensitivity is not a flaw, it's a function. It's part of your anointing. Your ability to see what others can't is not something to hide or be ashamed of, it's something to honor. Because that ability is not for entertainment or ego, it's for impact. You are being entrusted with divine intelligence for a reason, to bring truth where there is confusion, healing where there is hurt, light where there is darkness. And yes, it will set you apart. Yes, it will isolate you at times. Yes, some people will mock what they don't understand, even those closest to you. But you must remember this. Spiritual sight often looks like madness to those who are spiritually asleep. Don't expect the blind to validate your vision. Don't wait for confirmation from people who haven't been given your mission. This isn't a phase. This isn't temporary. This isn't some emotional or mental reaction to stress. This is divine awakening, and when your eyes begin to see the hidden workings of the spirit realm, when your vision expands and truth floods your soul, when you start walking by what you sense instead of what you see, you'll know you've crossed over. You've been activated. You're not just aware, you're assigned. This is the part of the journey where fear tries to make you doubt, where the enemy whispers that you're unstable, where culture tries to label you as too deep or too sensitive. But listen closely, those are distractions. That's spirit.